A person to do an action which is a righteous action, he needs to have Islam, he needs to have al-aql, and he needs to have tamyiz, or better word, he needs to be baligh. He needs to have the ability to do something, and some of the ulama have added ilm. These are the adawat, Takleef 5. Islam, aql, that he is sane, he is an adult, he has ability to do that thing, and he has knowledge of that thing. Let's take this step by step. Can a non-Muslim fast in Ramadan and have it accepted with Allah? Come on, John, fast with us, 18 hours. Try it out. Why do people do that though? This is the question. Because they don't understand the Shuroot. They think Siyam is a sacrifice. Come and fast with us for 18 hours to know what it feels like to be poor and needy. Is that why you fast? Why do you fast? Why do you fast? It's a command from Allah, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. If you don't have Islam, taqwa and iman, just being starved. Prophet ﷺ said that even if you are a Muslim, you don't forbid yourself from jahl wal amal biha, then he is not getting except starvation. So these are the adawat takleef, the pillars and the tools of takleef. Now these 5 that we've just mentioned apply for salah and everything other than salah. So now if you want to give him sadaqah, will you be rewarded? We have to look. Is he got a Muslim? Is he sane? Is he able to do it? Is he an adult? And does he have ilm of what he is doing? You want to be dutiful to your mother, to your parents. You want to do any kind of good deed, you need to have these 5 things. The person needs to have sanity, because the insane is not accountable. And the person needs to be an adult, because the adult, or the person who's not an adult, is not accountable. But this falls now into Shuroot al-Ijza that we talked about before. If your son says, and he's 5 years old, 10 years old, he's not a man yet, and he says, Baba, I've got 10 pounds in my pocket, I want to give it for the sake of Allah, he will be rewarded from the mercy of your Lord. Qudra is also from Takleef, and we will see Qudra is also important in Salat. Allah says, Fattaqullah Mustata'tum, fear Allah as much as you can. And Imam al-Sa'di said that this ayah is proof that everything which is wajib and a person is not able to do it, then he is not binding upon him. أنه يسقط من, that it is lifted from him, that particular action. So this goes back now to what we were talking about, those people who are calling towards extremism, those people who are calling to uprooting governments. What have they attained? Syria, look what's happening in Syria now. How long has it been? 10 years? This all started from the takfiri argument, let's get rid of these governments. What has it resulted to? Is that no benefit, and in fact it's created bloodshed, refugees, women have become widows, children have become orphans. This man is using chemical warfare, and the whole region now, all other countries have been disrupted as well. I'm not trying to be political, but from the hikmah of Allah, qudra is something which is very important. Allah doesn't want from you things that you are not able to do. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. And the ilm is also very important in takleef. You are not going to be accountable. Takleef means accountability and responsibility. You are not going to be held accountable and responsible if you do not have ilm. But this is conditional that you didn't have the ability to gain that ilm. If you are able to find out, but you are negligent, then you don't have an excuse. Did our messengers come to you? You have no excuse. But if you genuinely didn't have ilm, then you are not going to be punished. Al-Islam wal-aql wal-tamyiz. The first shart, the Shaykh said, can you read? Want to read? الشرط الأول الإسلام. Yeah.
الشرط الأول الإسلام وضد قال الشرط الأول الإسلام وضده الكفر والكافر عمله مردود لا تقبل الصلاة إلا من مسلم. والدليل قوله تعالى ومن يبتغي غير الإسلام دينا فلن يقبل منه وهو في الآخرة من الخاسرين. والكافر عمله مردود ولو عمل أي عمل. والدليل قوله تعالى ما كان للمشركين أن يعمروا مساجد الله شاهدين على أنفسهم بالكفر أولئك حبطت أعمالهم وفي النار هم خالدون. وقوله تعالى وقدمنا إلى ما عملوا من عمل فجعلناه هباء منثورا.
بارك الله فيك. The Shaykh is saying here that the first shart for your salat is that you need to be a Muslim, and the opposite of Islam is kufr. What is the meaning of Islam? Submission to Allah only. Submission with what? Okay, but there's something more important than that. هو الاستسلام بالتوحيد. A person cannot become Muslim without Tawheed. And acting in obedience with what he has legislated. This is submission. He is your master and he told you to do it. Khalas. Your father says to you, get me some water. And you just sit there. Have you listened to your father? You wake up half an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, then you get up and give it to him. Have you listened to him? It's the same thing. Istislam means submission. Submission means you make him one. This is the biggest thing, that is the most important. If you don't do that, then you have not done anything in your life. Not done anything in your life. My brothers and sisters, without Islam, and I say that you haven't done anything in your life, people today are human beings and you've got free will. Some of these human beings are the most noble of human beings amongst humanity. They are rich, they are got a nice appearance, they have everything. But on Yawm al-Qiyamah, you will never see these people ever again. Ever again, for eternity, not heard of. Why? He didn't have Tawheed. Where's he gone? Irrelevant. This is scary, but it becomes even more scary, may Allah protect us, when it could be your father, when it could be your mother, could be the apple of your eyes. You have been subservient to your mum, to your father, all your life. You love them more than anybody else. Your children have come from your loins. Every single day you are nurturing them, you are looking after them, you are protecting them, you are educating them. Yawm al-Qiyamah, some people will not see their parents or their children ever again. Why? Because of the importance of Tawheed. Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bih. It's very important. And this is what Islam is. It doesn't mean peace. Peace is an aspect of Islam. It doesn't mean justice. It's an aspect of Islam. The reason why you have been created. Rabbul Alameen. You are a small speck in His creation. To the extent that if you were here, if I was here or not here, it would make no difference to Allah Jalla wa Ala. It would make no difference to the rest of creation. Whether you exist or not doesn't make a difference. No difference. The reason why Allah took a cell from the father, put it into the mother. Did you have a choice in this? No choice. Bilal ibn Sa'd, one of the famous Salaf, he said that you are pushed, يعني ينتقل من دار إلى الدار. You have always been going from one place to another and you have no choice. You had no choice when your father pushed you into the womb. No choice. What happens next? Your mother pushed you into the dunya. Did you have a choice? Did you text her and say maybe tomorrow? No choice. Now you have got choice. This is why you have been created. Soon, tomorrow, no choice again. He's going to come and he's either going to say لا خوف عليكم ولا يحزنون, and he's going to take you out, and then you're going to travel. How far are you going to travel? To London? To Saudi Arabia? To Australia? You're going to go past the heavens. You see that sun? You're going to go past that sun. Your soul. And he's doing this every single day. And this angel, does he make a mistake? This angel here, this angel here, do they make a mistake? يَعْلَمُونَ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ. They know every single thing that you've been doing. Precision. From the moment that you became an adult, they have not missed a single second. Precision. لا بخس ولا رحق, Allah says. Yawm al-Qiyamah, there is not going to be anything going to be detracted or anything dhulm that's going to be placed upon you. When you come Yawm al-Qiyamah and say, no, the angel made a mistake that I didn't do it. Precision. Malik al-Maut, precision. Take you. You're going to go past the moon. You're going to go past the sun. You're going to go past the skies that you have never seen before. And if you have Tawheed and you've lived your life upon Islam, الاستسلام لله بانقياد أمره وترك ما ينهى والبراء من شرك وأهله, you've done what He's told you to do to the best of your ability, stayed away from what He has told you to stay away from with the best of your ability, you slip, khalas, make tawbah, go back to my master. Nobody is perfect. And you devoid yourself from shirk and trying to be like them, and you hold your identity in master and servitude to your master, then what happens is that these angels, this Malik al-Maut, will go past different series of angels, and those angels will call you by your best name. They will call you by your best name. Fulan ibn Fulan is here, we've been waiting for you, where have you been? This is him, come everybody look, he's here, this is his soul, and they will help each other to take you up. Then what happens? Anybody read Surah Mutaffifin before? What happens? Inna kitab al-abrari fil illiyin. Your name is written in illiyin. Successful. Your soul comes back down with the angels and is get put into the grave. If you have Tawheed and if you submitted to Allah in your actions, in your limbs. What happens if you didn't have Islam? Didduhu kufr. What happens? It gets pulled. I know of an incident, a friend of mine, and this is how he became Muslim. His father, he was having a stroke or something on his lap. And he said, and he wasn't Muslim at the time, and in fact this guy, he was just like another, he's white, so I don't want to put any kind of stereotype, but you can get the picture. Normal, what you see. Clubs, women, normal for them. His father's on his lap, his head is there. This man, he's about to die and he can sense it. But he goes, there's something that happened when he was dying, I couldn't explain. I've never seen anything like this. It's not natural. What happened? He said it was like a worm, a huge worm in his body that was trying to run away. So he went down the arm and it was like bulging. And he came here and he went like that and he went to his leg and he went like that, and it's his body, obviously there's not an extra thing that's popping out, but it feels like, it looks like something is trying to escape from something. and then he died. And he said that it's as if that thing that was trying to run away got taken off. He said many years passed away, and that sign, that event disturbed him. He had no answer for it. He just continued his life. He didn't really think anything of it, but it was in his head, like I can't explain it. It's supernatural. Somebody called him to Islam, and they happened to give him a book by Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan where he's describing the death of the believer and the disbeliever, like we've just mentioned. And the Shaykh described this man's father's death down to exact precision. I said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So this is the haqq. Because now I knew that there was something up with this, and I knew that this was the point of life. It's something like, it was something inside of me, that why is his body behaving in this manner when it's his time to die? Okay, let's just explain this first shart very quickly. Al-Islam wa didduhu kufr. The opposite of Islam is kufr. Like we've seen, Islam is to submit to Allah with His tawheed and acting upon what He has told us. If you don't have this, then there is no action for you. وَالْكَافِرْ عَمَلُهُ مَرْدُودٌ وَلَوْ عَمِلَ أَيُّ عَمَلٍ. Even if he did the best of actions, all righteous actions will be rejected from him. And like we said, this is the first thing that comes to accountability and responsibility. What's the dalil for this? That it is not befitting مَا كَانَ لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ أَنْ يَأْمَنُوا مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ, that they, the mushriks, the Quraysh, used to be the custodians of Masjid al-Haram, and they were proud about this. And they used to say to Muhammad that you have not got the haqq with you, we are the people of the Haram. But they are shahidaini ala anfusihim bil kufr. They know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with the haqq, and besides that fact, they are still worshipping idols. They knew. Ulaika habitat a'maluhum. Doesn't matter how much they respect the Bayt, how much khidmah they give to the Hujjaj, how much they have exerted their money. Some of those Quraysh, they actually built the Kaaba with their own money, because there was a flood at the time after Abraha, and they built the Kaaba. All of that rejected. And what's going to happen in the Akhirah? وَفِي النَّارِ هُمْ خَالِدُونَ. Everlasting, nobody's going to hear from them again in the fire. And he brings another dalil, وَقَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ. Any action that is put forward, فَجَعَلْنَاهُ particles, dust. It's going to come, and part of the punishment, they're going to see it and it's going to float away as if it wasn't there. So what this teaches us is that we need to have Islam for any kind of action to be correct, and this is from the first Shurt of Salat. And also what we learn from this also, and this is something which is very important, like we said in the introduction, is that the Shaykh continually in this book will bring dalil after dalil. And this clearly shows that he wants khair for you. He could easily just say kufr, second one, third one, without giving you the dalil. He's connecting you to Kitab Allah and Sunnah Rasulullah. And the true alim is able to do that. The true alim is able to give you the dalil correctly, apply correctly. So this is something that we can learn from this, just from this, these short lines. So bi'idhnillah, in tomorrow's lesson we will continue with the Shuroot of the Salat. Ask Allah to make this beneficial for us all and to make it for a hujjah for us, a proof for us and not against us. And Yawm al-Qiyamah, and Allah preserves us upon Islam with our families. هذا والله أعلم وصلى اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وإياكم.